successful military forces called the Biafra Liberation Army and Biafra Resistance Fighters, Biafra Navy, and Biafra Air Force.
The M16 and M26 na Reziboro. On a Reziboro guy. Yes. When I was telling people that Russia has delivered M16 and M26 to the great Biafran army, how many of you doubted? How many of you doubted? You felt that what we were doing was a joke. You felt that what we were saying was a joke. Now everything has begun to play out in a very beautiful way. 5 terrorist bases in Anambra state has been neutralized by the help of M26. M26, you should note that M26 is bigger than M16. These are weapons that are being used by special forces, international forces, has now been able to help us deliver Biafra safely. You see, it's been ages and ages and ages where so many people have continued to put us behind the bars. So many. You cannot talk peacefully. You cannot do the works peacefully. There's always going to be a negative negotiation. And that's the irony. Very negative negotiations that have intentionally put Biafra in one spot. But I have a bad news for our enemies, that this is no longer a point of bad news. This is now the point for good news and just good news. For the first time in history, Biafran has neutralized over 5 terrorist camps where they have been training and kidnapping our people and selling them for peanuts. We heard what happened in Abia State Market, where over 80 bodies were found, decomposing bodies. And yet, the government or the former governor of Abia State has not given us any reason why Biafran bodies should be found wallowing in the middle of the forest. And when you say we should criticize Simon Eba, I'll ask you one question. You that want me to criticize him, what have you done for Biafra? What have you done for the Biafran people? How have you helped the Biafran people? In what way have you delivered the Biafran nation to the right place? Or you just want to sit behind the keypad and be typing your rubbish, and you want us to be listening to it? Just today, 1 fighter jet was neutralized and 1 helicopter, and it is obvious that the British are standing with our enemies. Yes, it is very, very obvious. Because I don't know what the problem is. If Ijom Kankwa, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why it is difficult to just let us be peacefully. Masemba, not possible. They won't let us be. They will always fight us. They will always do this to us. They will always chase us. They will always, every day and every time. It has become from one story to the other. Terrorists is not allowed. I will never support anybody to go and start shooting or killing anybody. Not even the Nigerian soldiers. The Nigerian soldiers have right to step into Biafran land. But what we are not going to tolerate is when you go about to start doing what? To start killing innocent Biafrans. It's not possible. It's not done. Then you're asking them to defend themselves. Because obviously, yes, there must be a bounce back. And it is the bounce back they are most scared of. It is that very bounce back. And that is what has started happening. You will see more treaties that have been signed. and more will be revealed to you in the coming future. Kodi, Oyenu, Yozie Wane. This is what I told you about the M16 that was delivered by the Russian PM and the Russian forces. You want to know how powerful the M16 is? One fighter jet that came to monitor in the Imo State has been brought down by M16, and one helicopter have been brought down by M16. People don't know how powerful M16 is. The journey has just begun. Biafra restoration has become something inevitable, unstoppable, unmovable. Ikwe kulie. Anamagwanoge. Who are the doubting Thomases? We are the doubting Thomases. We are moving with maximum speed, and our speed can be noticed by our enemies. There is no other way we should explain this. There is no other way we should do this. This very speed is becoming more and more obeyable. You see, for a very long time, we have been trying to, maneuver some kind of stuff and do whatever that we have to do. But the most important thing here is that our journey to restore Biafra has become more open, more in the open, more in the figure of speech. So therefore, as we push through to liberate ourselves from this nemesis, we must consider every means possible to hold Biafra and hold Biafrans in the public. This M16 is too powerful. This fighter jet, for bringing it down, shows the force that we already possess. I will say it again, and I keep saying it, that your enemies will always succeed if they hurt you and you don't retaliate or return that same energy back to them. They're gonna keep hurting you, and they're gonna keep hurting you, and they're gonna keep hurting you. All you do is you keep crying and crying and crying, and your tears will not even solve any problem. So fanyegi 1 year 2, fanyegi 2 year 3, fanyegi 4 year 5. That is the only way they can now return back and think and say these people need freedom. Let's give them their freedom. Look at that enemy here, here. With the help of M16, the PLA have brought down 1 private jet, 1 fighter jet, and 1 helicopter. Zoo helicopter. Let's continue to go. We have noticed the British support to hold Biafra in one spot. But I tell you more solemnly that any man who tries to disrespect the Biafran people and the Biafran nation must have themselves to be blamed. There's no 2 ways about it. They must have themselves to be blamed. And by so doing, nothing will spoil that very energetic wings that we have been pulling through. We must all reconsider everything that we need to consider. And if we should open ourselves up and, make a very good wing out of this whole situation room, this is the point we should say to ourselves, we have done well. We have done massively well. And nobody have the right or audacity to put us in the corner zone. Whether you like it or not, we cannot be pushed to that zone where each and every one of us will be looking as if we don't know what we are doing. Yes, that's the way it is. We know what we have been doing, and we will continue to do what we used to do. We will continue to do what we know how to do. And what do we know how to do? The do is all we can say. So every Biafrans must get ready, because this journey is going to be a very, 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 very long journey. Very, very long journey. And by so doing, we will have to reconsider some things in the future.